Hi, this is Terry, and I want to talk with you a little bit today about what's happening out there in the world. As I kind of look at some news, I want to share with you particularly on blockchain and what's happening in this fast-changing, oh my goodness, kind of world of blockchains with everything moving so fast, and how you can make sense of it from a business sense and how to work with that, whether we're talking working with blockchain for many different industries or in the currencies like Bitcoin and other areas that we're seeing. Blockchain is really the hot topic right now. And there's ways that you can tie into it. And of course, blockchain, what that is, it's a distributed ledger technology. That means think of it like a database, but instead of the database being in one place, it's in several different places distributed, which increases the security because someone's got to get access to all of that in order to access the database. When it's in blockchain format, it's a lot better for you all the way around. And there's several articles I've been looking at I wanted to share with you today as we take a look at some. Here's one that I thought was really interesting from Cointelegraph. Banking giant UBS says, CEO says, blockchain will reshape banking. That's pretty heavy duty when we look at what they're saying. They're looking at it. I like this quote here because this is interesting. We hear others that are saying, hey, it's no good, like Jamie Dimon saying, okay, it's not going to be a big deal, and we know that this isn't going to happen, or blockchain or Bitcoin is a fraud, and others saying that. Well, this is a little different. When we look at what Sergio Ermotti, the CEO of Swiss banking giant UBS, said, he said, our strategy is very simple. We try to initiate and get as many other financial institutions and clients into teams like trade finance with other banks, and IBM was a successful venture allowing banks to operate and act as a cheaper, more efficient level. Hey, think about that. That's something that everyone's interested in, because when you can do things cheaper and you can do it at a more efficient level, everyone likes that. Bankers tend to be a little bit more conservative with money, as they should be. That's a good thing. And we see that they're moving in that direction. So I think there's some real opportunities here that we can see that are going to help a lot as we move forward with it and do even more, because of the capabilities and the power gives banks a lot of potential to keep track of information they wouldn't have otherwise. And I think that's a real benefit there. Well, let's take a look at some other information here, and I want to go back here to this. There we are, and come over here to share the entire screen. And there we are. Let's say over here, another story of securing travel and trade with blockchain. When you look at that, it's got some real potential here. Among the growing number of potential applications for blockchain is border management and security. And this came from Information Week, a magazine that's been out there for many years. I like going to it every so often with a lot of technology. But they talk about technology, one technology today that stands apart with the potential to profoundly change the way we manage business transactions. There's our friend, blockchain. A favorite buzzword that few people actually understand. Blockchain is essentially, this is a good little definition here. Blockchain is essentially a new type of database system that maintains and records data to allow multiple parties to share information more securely and confidently than ever before. And he talks about this with travel and trade. I particularly like that because the potential there is really something. When you look at border management, when you look at what can be done and what needs to be done in managing it, that is going to be a lot. Just as blockchain has the potential to create greater reliability, efficiency, and speed in the private sector, it holds tremendous potential for government agency and NGOs, non-government organizations. It has the potential to be a revolutionary tool for border management, agencies that need to manage the complex movements across borders. So you've got movements of goods and lots of people going back and forth. I think it really has a lot of good there. This is in Information Week. You might want to check into this and see what that article says about it. And I see that there's a lot of potential with that as we look at what's available, and we see the potential of using blockchain to keep track of all the data. I just did an interview with the folks at ShowCard that you might want to listen to, and they were talking about using blockchain and their particular ShowCard, that SHOCARD, about what's happening and how you can use this to keep track of the necessary documents you need, your passports, your travel arrangements for each country. Different countries are going to require different types of pieces of information. Using blockchain, you're able to control what's there and provide exactly what they're looking for when they need it. And I think that has some real nice applications for what we're talking about with many other areas too. Now, there are other things that are out there too when you look at what blockchain is doing. And when you think about what it's supposed to revolutionize, well, there's quite a bit here. When you look at the things that blockchain is supposed to revolutionize, well, there's a bunch of them. Matter of fact, I like this here. This was in Future Tense blog there with ASU, and look at what's happening in the blockchain area. You know, it's best known for its association with Bitcoin. It's a digital record technology, essentially just a digital ledger that allows people to make instant and secure transactions. The ledger is shared publicly. Let me get this straight here. The ledger is shared publicly and allows contracts to be executing automatically without need for a central authority like a bank. So if you get the idea, maybe we don't need banks as much. That's why they are scared. But they listed several items here that are available for blockchain use. Cross-border payments, we were just talking about that. Education records, monetizing time, gambling, online harassment, car insurance, financial services, etc., etc. Look at this. All of these ways that blockchain will be able to be used, they list just 57 of them that you can keep track of it. And essentially what it means is anytime you need to keep information, you need to keep track of data that's being exchanged, whether it's temperature or did this good connect to this place here? Did you actually do this? Was it at this time? Or all those variables that can be quantified. That's where blockchain comes in. It stands to reason that this is something that is going to revolutionize the world and the way we do it. It's very, very important technology, and it's very similar to and now being used with a technology we've seen before and heard talk about, and that is when we look at what's going on with big data. Blockchain and big data, we can see that big data is now integrating with it to keep track of all those items that are talking to each other, the Internet of Things, tying them together and looking at all this massive information, but let blockchain make sense of it. This is an article here that was in CIO Review recently, and they talked about that. They said that blockchain is easily emerging as one of the more crucial developments in the IT sector over the past few years. It has the potential to take over big data and improve it abundantly, essentially changing the way the world approached big data to begin with. So we're seeing it now has the ability to move farther, get more done, collecting the kind of information that we need in some profound ways by combining it. And, you know, once again, we see this happen a lot. I've seen that throughout my career. If you can take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and put it all together, then you're able to come up with real solutions that people want. The combination and mixing it together is where you create exactly what needs to be done. It's almost like a magical elixir that's there, that when you combine 2 or 3 different options and tools, you get more done. So think blockchain, think AI, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data, all of these blending together. Drones, which are collecting data and put that into blockchain format, have a tremendous amount of potential out there. Well, of course, the thing that really drives blockchain more than any is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin made some major advancements this week here. We look at it, Bitcoin just split into 2 separate currencies again. And there was an interesting article here in Motley Fool, the Motley Fool. When they look at what's going on here and how it's changing, we see that Bitcoin now has the SegWit 2X. It's being integrated into the network, and this gives a lot of capability to decide, okay, what are we going to do with it, and how is it going to happen? I think we're looking at some major changes here, and with the other further changes that will come up with Bitcoin, it still is going to be around. Bitcoin is not going away. Bitcoin is derided by financial press, by many of those, I think, ultimately haters that don't like it because it's giving value in areas that they can't. Bitcoin, I believe, is going to be around. I also really like Bitcoin Cash. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to provide for the ease of transactions, the lower cost that we really need. Bitcoin itself will be for higher in value items. Of course, Bitcoin Cash can do that as well. But I think that we want to look at that, and other cryptocurrencies are going strong as well. We look at Dash and what it's doing from dash.org. That has the ability to have the speed, the low cost, and more privacy. Privacy is becoming bigger and bigger all the time with it. So there's a lot going on in the world of Bitcoin and blockchain analysis. Take a look at what's out there. I'm Terry Brock, and I help a lot of people that work with this. If you've got some questions or ways I can help you, hey, you know how to reach me. You go to terrybrock.com. You've probably seen it up there. Did you notice the subtle hint? terrybrock.com. You can find out how to reach me there. Email is terry@terrybrock.com. And hey, I will look forward to hearing from you. Looking forward to finding your opinion. Let me know what you think about this and how things are changing and how they're moving around and revolutionizing. I'll look forward to hearing from you.